Kahit hanggang ngayon lahat ng daan ay pabalik sa'yo. Balang araw ay makikita mong di kailangang lumayo, kung paglisan lang ang paraan. Patawad, paalam, kahit nasaan ka man. Nariyan pa ba ang pinangarap ko na aking tinalikuran para mabuo? Bakit gano'n? Kahit saan lumingon, lahat ng daan ay pabalik sa'yo. Balang araw ay makikita mong di kailangan lumayo, kung paglisan lang ang paraan. Patawad, paalam, kahit nasaan ka nahanap ka sarili mo, nawala naman ako. Masisisi mo pa ba kung ako'y susuko na? Hindi mo man mapakinggan ang aking mga dahilan. Maitatanggi mo bang mahal na mahal kita? Sa aking paglayag, tiyak ika'y masasaktan hanggat ko'y maintindihan. Di maintindihan, nasa tamang panahon, hindi naiiwan. Kung iyong pag-ibig ang muli, di kayang pagbigyan muli. Kahit anong gawin, di na mababalik ang dati. Salamat sa lahat. Balang araw ay makikita mo di na sana lumayo, kung paglisan lang ang dahilan sa ating hangganan. Ikaw pa rin sana.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tambayan Talks with the best voice on the planet, aka me, Darius.
the ever so beautiful Muasha. For this very special episode, we're featuring two of the most requested people on our show. Do you mind telling us kung sino nga ba ang ating mystery guest for today, Darius?
I'll give you a hint.
Wow, that was perfect.
Thank you. Well, our first guest is the Queen of Emotions, known for her mapanakit songs that can make anyone and everyone cry. The brilliant mind behind the songs Malaya and Paubaya.
Accompanied by a rising artist who makes the listeners feel equally as brokenhearted.
The most requested drumroll please, everyone please welcome Mara De La Torre and RG Guerrero of I Belong to the Zoo.
Hi Darius, hi Moesha, thank you for inviting us.
Yes, it's an honor to be on one of the Philippines' top podcasts. I always listen to you guys.
The pleasure is all ours. So, we know naman na Filipinos love a good hugot song. And to have not one, but two notoriously heart-wrenching singers to collaborate on one track, well, that's
Exactly! So, can you just walk us through this whole process?
Well, Patawad, Paalam is a song that explores the vulnerability of love and the decisions you have to face as we go along the path.
I personally love this song because sa una para siyang typical breakup song, but the more you try to understand it, the clearer it gets. It basically means that love comes in different forms.
So, Myra, you're known for your mahugot and emotional songs, and as a writer of your own work, I'm curious, what's the inspiration behind this, and how do these songs come about?
Generally, I think I just try to pull something from my real-life experiences, and my lola who raised me played a very big role in this.
You mentioned you try to draw inspiration from what's happened in your life. Does Patawad Paalam have a specific story behind it?
Well, I grew up in a broken family and it affected me so much from my teenage years up until recent time. I was 4 when my parents get Not having a father figure brought instability and incompleteness in my life. It came to a point na I became depressed and had thoughts of suicide. Songwriting helped me to understand and recognize my feelings.
Yes, I've been seeing your posts about taking care of your mental health. Mara, may I ask kung kumusta ka naman ngayon?
I'm walking towards a path of healing, acceptance, and forgiveness of myself and the people I love. And I want people to know that a man's perspective and actions are a reflection of the life he has lived. One is not bound by his past, nor does it define who he is. To use one's freedom and will to go beyond his imperfections is to live life with purpose and meaning.
That's very beautiful. Thank you for sharing your story with us, Myra.
Now let's move on to our next segment. Some basic info for our listeners. Patawad Paalam is 6 stanzas long. It's in the first point of view, but what's interesting about it is it's an exchange between two different personas. It's free verse but with end rhymes, and the song follows the usual structural pattern.
I really like that you guys use rhetorical questions, like the part where you say, nakatulong ba nung lumayo ko? Tapos yung added figurative language parang sa lahat ng daan ay pabalik sa'yo. It's almost a lyrical masterpiece.
The song revolves around the ideas reaching a point of decision, a mutual decision between two people to part ways.
Now let's start. Genius Verified.
Patawad Paalam talks about the descent of a relationship after reaching the point where decisions are meant to be made. The lyrics have two personas, the one that left and the one left behind. Nakatulong ba nung lumayo ako? Diba yun naman ang iyong ginusto? The first persona wonders if the distance and space that the other party wished for has helped him in seeking his purpose.
Simula pa noon kahit hanggang ngayon, lahat ng daan ay pabalik sa'yo. These lines talk about their growth and progress. As people move forward in a relationship, there are little things that would remind them of the past they shared together.
Balang araw ay makikita mong di kailangan lumayo, kung paglisan lang ang paraan. Patawad, paalam, Kahit nasaan ka man. The chorus wants to emphasize that saying goodbye is not the only thing that people could do, unless dumating sa point na wala na ibang choice but to say goodbye and sorry.
Nariyan pa ba ang pinangarap ko na aking tinalikuran para mabuo? The second persona talks about the dreams and the connection na meron sila dati na ngayon ay tinalikuran na niya at iniwan to pursuit of his self-discovery.
Nahanap nga sarili mo, na wala naman ako, masisisi mo pa ba kung ako'y susuko na? This part of the bridge continues the story of why the other person chose to leave. The irony of having achieved what it is yearned for, yet having to lose someone so important along the way.
Di mo man mapakinggan ang aking mga dahilan. Maitatanggi mo bang mahal na mahal kita? The second person na provides justification through his reasons. Kahit ang pang nangyari and naging result ng relationship, at the end of the day, you brought effort and affection to each other. And there are times where love, as great as it may be, is simply not enough. Sa aking paglayag, tiyak ika'y masasaktan. Sa part na ito, it describes the outcome of the decision that was chosen. As a result of one leaving and choosing to end the relationship, the other will certainly be hurt in the process. Ang at ko'y maintindihan.
Di maintindihan.
Nasa taong panahon, hindi naiiwan kung yung pagbibigyang muli.
Kayang pagbigyan muli.
Kahit anong gawin, di na mababalik
ang
dati.
It talks about the hope ng nang-iwan na maybe one day pwede ulit itry. Kaso lang yung other person, di ganun yung gustong mangyari. Basically, their past relationship simply cannot be brought back. Paalam, salamat.
Salamat sa lahat. Pagkatapos ng lahat ng sakit, kirot at pagsisisi, comes acceptance. Both persons or both sides tend to gradually accept the reality of the situation, the relationship, and each other.
They bid goodbye to the other person and the memories they have as they thank each other, closing the final chapter of the story.
Wow! I'm sure everyone listening right now is enjoying themselves, especially after hearing both of your angelic voices. What do you think, Darius?
You know, Moesha, while I was listening to the song, na-realize ko na different eyes see different stories. Every action, whether it is believed to be for the best, may be for naught in the eyes of another. At a point where ideals no longer complement each other, certain results require great compromise, which, although marks the end, is needed to move forward.
Before we get to the final segment, let's try to warm up with the game. Are you guys down?
Moesha and I prepared this fishbowl thing from the song. Laman niya ay words from the lyrics and all you have to do is tell us what it means.
Especially since songs are nothing short of poetic. Words and objects can have different meanings depending on how we use it, diba?
Definitely. So, to start, Myra, what's with the word daan?
We know daan as the course traveled from one place to another, pero sa song it actually means direction.
For RG naman, what is paglisan paglayag?
Paglisan paglayag describes the act of going away from someone or something, and it signifies the mark of the end of a relationship.
For Myra again, how about paalam, salamat?
These words are usually interpreted as appreciation, but in the lyrics it emphasizes the word acceptance of everything.
Finally, RG, can you tell us what patawad paalam means?
Patawad paalam is used as an apology or a remark at parting or leaving, while it signifies the decision made.
Talking about this song and the story behind it makes me realize that there will be times where the best decision is to part ways. Each decision made brings its own ineluctable consequence. Letting things end is sometimes better than having to suffer being in it. We cannot shrink ourselves to fit places we've outgrown, and we cannot continue to stay in places we no longer belong.
Moving on to the last segment of our podcast, it's no secret you guys touch countless lives with your lyrical storytelling. So, for the first time ever, we've invited a fan who is also coincidentally going through a similar experience. Ephraim, say hi!
Hello po Kuya Darius. Hello po Ate Mosha. Hi po Moira. I'm a big fan.
So, Ephraim, what do you think about the song?
Well, for me, Patawad Paalam may seem to be a sad story of a broken relationship at first glance, but it actually tells a tale of understanding and acceptance. After the pain, suffering, and regret comes understanding, and after understanding comes acceptance.
Yes, yes. What are rather honest confessions than personal narratives allow the audience to see through each perspective.
It unveils the vulnerable yet honest sides of the one that left and the one left behind.
Listening to this song gives me hope that with every ending comes a new beginning. Much like a book that has reached its final chapter, we cannot add new words to pages already filled. Goodbyes entails new beginnings. Choosing to walk such a rocky path takes courage and resolve. Above all else, it requires the trust that was built in a relationship to completely recognize and accept its ending. We cannot completely control our lives, but we are granted the power to decide the direction we will travel. Like a book yet to be written, with each day, we are given the chance to move forward and choose bolder and braver stories. I'm sorry po.
Ephraim, hello?
I have to disconnect po. Sorry
Hello,
po.
Ephraim?
Well, I guess that concludes this week's episode with Moira and RG. Do you guys have something to say to our dear listeners?
Our collaboration song is out on all digital platforms and it's available in stores near you. So buy now. So I hope the song inspires you to be a little braver.
Thank you again for inviting us, Moesha and Darius. It's been very fun talk. Please continue listening to the song. I also hope that it has touched your heart.
And that's a wrap. Moira and RG will be singing Patawad Paalam once more after we get back from this short advertisement from our sponsor.
Shout out to our sponsor, Tender Judy!
Acceptance of what has happened in the past means to forgive yourself and the people around you.
By choosing to make brave decisions in the present, despite how difficult they may be,
We can continue to move towards what awaits us in the future.
A story begins where a story ends. Goodbyes, although may signify an ending, could also mark the start of a new page and a new chapter in the book we call life.
With this, we have ourselves the grand synthesis for our literary colloquium. We are the Patawad Paalam group. Thank you for watching.